welcome back to Katie's Kingdom. Today I'm going to share with you a quick little makeup tutorial. No, not a tutorial. Definitely not a tutorial. Today I'm going to share with you a quick little get ready with me. I am talking very softly because my daughter Felicity, who is almost 5 months old, is sleeping in the next room, and I was about to do my makeup to film another video for you guys, and I decided, since you have been asking for a how I do my makeup sort of video for a very long time, I might as well just film it today. I'm not sure if the lighting is appropriate or flattering or anything, and this is the least professional makeup video you'll probably ever see, but I thought I'd just get the camera out and film it for you, and we'll learn together. So this is how I do my makeup for just everyday life. I'm a stay-at-home mom of 2. I don't have a whole lot of time to do my makeup in the mornings, but I like to have my makeup done. It just makes me feel more put together, and it makes me more likely to be productive throughout the day. So most days, this is what I look like. I try and do this quick and easy 5-minute makeup routine at home, and I also do virtually the same thing when I'm out at the Disney parks or on vacation. So this is basically how I do it most of the time in my life, unless I'm going out somewhere fancy or doing something, you know, out of the norm. This is my makeup routine. So stick around and I'll show you. And just a disclaimer, I am very mediocre at doing my makeup. I am not good at doing makeup in any way. I do have quality products. I have figured out what works for me over time, and I find that quality makeup products make all the difference. They're more forgiving, they stay on longer, the color is just has more staying power. So I would recommend, at least in some of the categories of makeup, that you invest in some good makeup. Then you could just use a light hand and make it last by not caking it on a ton. But I guess we'll get right into it. Okay guys, this is going to be a super chatty and informal get ready with me video on how I do my makeup. My daughter Felicity is almost 5 months old, and she is napping right now. And this is when I usually get to do my makeup, is when she's sleeping, and I usually don't want to spend a ton of time on it. So the first thing I start with is the Becca First Light Primer. And this just sort of smooths out your face and makes applying whatever foundation or like tinted moisturizer, it just makes it go on smoother and more even. So I'll just put that on, and I usually do my makeup over there, but I could not figure out how to get the lighting right, so I moved over here to where my bathtub is to have the light, the natural light, and I just set up my new light over here. So I'm not sure how well the lighting is. I don't know. I spent a whole bunch of time trying to figure it out, and then I was like, I better just film it or I'm never going to. So here we are. So then I go for the Nars Tinted Moisturizer. It's the Pure Radiant Tinted Moisturizer, and it has SPF 30. This is a really good thing for being outside in the theme parks, but also I use it just all the time. I think it's good to have SPF in your foundation. If I'm going somewhere fancy, or if I want like a like more of a polished makeup look, I do have a foundation, like an actual fuller coverage foundation, but for everyday purposes I just use the tinted moisturizer, and it works great. Then I take my sponge, and you do have to wet this, and mine is filthy, but you wet it and then squeeze it out before you use it every time, and then you just dab everything on. And I did just a few different spots all over my face, and then I just dab it in. So Felicity is just about to be 5 months old. She'll be 5 months on Friday, and it's Monday right now. And she has been in serious sleep regression. So I haven't slept very much, so this might be a test of my makeup to see if it hides some of my dark circles and tired skin. I've always had pretty good skin as far as like texture and not a whole lot of acne or breakouts or anything. So the tinted moisturizer just kind of evens out the like skin tone, and I find it works pretty well. So I put that on, and then I will do my concealers. So, and then I also use this Nars smudge proof eyeshadow base while in the same step while I'm doing my concealers. So I'll put that on my eyes. I have a little tiny mirror over here that I'm using. Like I said, I usually use the big mirror back there, but the lighting was just horrendous. So I put that on, and then I use the Urban Decay Naked Skin Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer in light neutral. And this is a step that sometimes I don't do, especially when I'm running late or it's really early in the morning or something at the theme parks. But when I do it, I really just put 3 little dabs under my eyes and right there under my nose where I kind of have some red like capillaries, and then there in my chin. So I don't use a ton of it, but just in those few places. And then I take my damp little sponge and I just dab that in as well. I'm sure that everybody has their own preference as to what concealer you like to use, but this one works pretty good for me, and I just kind of dab it in. I don't have any idea if this is like the right way of doing things, but this is how I do it, like I said. So last night Felicity woke up several times, which she's been doing before now. Even when she was a newborn, she was sleeping like 5 to 6 hours a night, and now all of a sudden it's like 2 to 3 hours a night, and she's been waking up, so that's been rough. And then Jackson also woke up, my almost 5-year-old woke up in the middle of the night screaming. I think he had a bad dream. So I was in there for half the night, so I didn't really sleep very well at all last night. So now I'll use the Covergirl Trublend powder, and this is the color Translucent Light number 2. And I used to use, it's a pressed powder. I used to use like a nicer brand of powder, but I found that I was going through it a lot. This is one of the things that I guess I'm kind of heavy-handed with, and so sorry about the light. I guess now all of a sudden it's sunny. So anyway, I was going through it a lot, and I didn't feel like paying like $28 every time I went through the powder. So I tried this CoverGirl, and it works pretty well. I don't know if this, oh, I look like very washed out and completely white now, like a ghost. And then I do take it and kind of do it a little bit heavy under my eyes to set that concealer. So sometimes I do that stuff next, and I guess sometimes I put on just a little bit of eyeshadow, not a lot, just to basically like even out the tone under on my eyelids. So I have this palette. It's a Too Faced Boudoir Eyes, but it doesn't really matter. I just use usually this one. It's called Birthday Suit, and it's just like a neutral. And I take a brush like this. All these brushes are from Sigma, and I got them like, I don't know, 10 years ago. I don't wash them as often as I should either. And then I'll just, like I said, I'm so far from being an expert at putting on my makeup. I just kind of slap it on. That's not really a lot of finesse when it comes to makeup, but I guess, I don't know what that was. I'm gonna go check. Be right back. Okay, there was a very loud bang, but it's snowing outside, so it must have been like, I don't know, snow falling out the roof or something. But where were we? Yeah, my eyeshadow, I just do a very, I'm kind of being quiet too because Felicity is like right in my bedroom, which is on the other side of this wall right here. So anyway, I do just a very light dusting of just a neutral eyeshadow. And that primer that I put on helps it from creasing throughout the day, and it just like evens everything out, I guess. Then something a little bit, I don't know, maybe this is like a hack, I'm not sure, but I'm really terrible at doing eyeliner and it just stresses me out, but I do like to have my eyes like a little bit more defined. I also do obviously have on eyelash extensions that are maintained for me by a person, like she puts the eyelashes on every other week, and each eyelash goes on my real eyelash. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. So I don't have to do a whole lot in the eye department because that kind of just gives me a nice finished look. But I do take, anyway, this black eyeshadow, and I just take it with this kind of brush. It's like a very thin, I guess, liner brush, I don't know. And I just ever so easily go where you would put eyeliner, just on my lash line. And that helps just like open up my eye, define my eye, makes it look like I have actual liner on, even though it's just shadow. And the thing about the shadow is it's just so forgiving and it just wears well, and it doesn't leave that like, I don't know, I find when I wear actual eyeliner, it's stressful to put on and then it doesn't wear well throughout the day. Whereas this just kind of, if it's gonna fall off, it just, I don't know how to explain it, but it's not as harsh. So if some of it like falls out, I don't know, this doesn't seem to really like give me a lot of fallout, but if it wears off, it wears off evenly and sort of forgiving. So I like to do that. And I don't know how much the eyeshadow base helps with keeping it on, but I don't know, it works for me. And yeah, oh, I gotta do the bottom over here. And I'm using just a very, very little bit. And a very light hand on the brush. I don't need a whole lot. But it looks like my eyes are a little bit more lined. Okay, now what do I do? I'll do my eyebrows next because I can't stand looking at my eyebrows without my eyebrow pencil on. I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in soft brown. This is, I feel like something most people use, a lot of people use. This is a very popular product, but I like it because it's easy to use, it's forgiving. I will just kind of make sure they're standing up and not down first. I did have my eyebrows professionally microbladed, but that was about 1.5 years ago, and they desperately need a retouch because it's faded so much, and my natural eyebrows are super sparse and were the victims of the early 2000s overplucking. When I was in high school, I overplucked them and they just never were the same. They never grew back. So I have extremely sparse eyebrows, and if I do nothing else, I almost always will just throw on the tinted moisturizer and the powder and then my eyebrow pencil, and I'm good to go. And that takes like less than 5 minutes, probably like 2 minutes. So usually, oh no, Felicity's waking up. Let me bump up the snoo here. See if she'll go back to sleep. She's only been sleeping for 20 minutes. She probably hears me talking. Okay. See if that works. Anyway, I'll just sort of fill in an outline. So I do like one just sort of sweeping motion to create like the bottom line. Oh shoot, she's not going back to sleep. And then I'll fill in the top. I'm very distracted now because she's fussing a little bit. This just takes practice. This is like something I do every single day, and I think I've gotten a pretty nice arch out of it. And I used the microblading as sort of a template at first. Now it's very faded and you almost can't see it, but it was helpful to have like a where do the eyebrows go sort of template, even though they didn't look perfect before I put anything on. Once I filled them in with this pencil, I think they look pretty good. I would say this is probably the most important step in makeup doing. If you do nothing else, just keep practicing penciling your eyebrows in and you'll look put together. And they don't have to be equal. I'm sure you've heard that before. They're supposed to be sisters and not twins. That's the saying. How the saying goes. Nothing about this makeup application is perfect, by the way, obviously. This also isn't my usual mirror, so I don't know, good enough. Then I go back through and take the bristly side. So this has two sides, the pencil side and then this little spoolie, and then you just brush them through once again. And that just kind of softens the edges of everything. And there you have it. Then, so sometimes I do my eyebrows completely last, but I just couldn't look at them in the video like that anymore. So I did them before my cheek step, I guess. But I do this, and I think this is where it makes you look sort of well put together. I do like a bronzer, blush, and highlighter combination on my cheeks, and that just, I don't know, makes you look good. So that was well put. This is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer in Luminous Bronze Light. It looks like this. All of this stuff is very forgiving, which is good because, like I said, my application process is not the best. I just swirl it around, tap it, and then I just do the underside. Where's my little mirror here? The underside of my cheekbones. And then you go all the way basically to your hairline. And then I've heard it explained before by someone that you'd make like a 3 a little bit on your face. So you go, and I only do this like very lightly. And then under my jawbone a little bit. And it just highlights the right places. I'm going slower than I would normally go because usually this honestly takes me way less than 5 minutes, but because I'm chatting and everything, I'm going a little bit slower. But this is not a precise thing. This is just sort of get it in the right general area, which is sort of this back cheekbone area. This is the least technical like makeup. This is not a tutorial. This is basically just what I do. Next I do blush. I use the Nars Orgasm blush. This one is almost gone. But I just swirl the brush around. I also use 3 separate brushes for bronzer, blush, and highlighter. And that way I have to wash them less, and that I just only have the one color on each, no, she's sneezing, in each brush. So, I don't know, that's just how I do it. And I just put the blush in an upward motion on my cheekbones, right above the bronzer. It looks a little heavy when I first do it, I guess, and also in this light, but that's basically how I do it. And then I take this Morphe high impact highlighter in the color Spark. This is something that a friend gave me because she got it in an Ipsy box and she didn't use it. So I was using the Nars Albatross, which is like a very common highlighter, and this one's definitely more white, and that was fine. But I actually like this Morphe one because it's more of a pink, peach tone. And then I just take my highlighter brush and just ever so lightly just dab it like once or twice, knock it off, and then really quickly just go to the tops of my cheekbones. And occasionally I'll do like a little bit here, a little bit here. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'll say that for the 100th time. Felicity keeps making noise. I don't know if you can hear it, but I'm almost done. Almost done. So then honestly, I'll just usually take a Burt's Bees like chapstick and go over my lips. Especially in the theme parks, I don't usually use a lip color. My lips are pretty pigmented anyway. This is my natural lip color. If I feel like this is a little too much, I'll just take that powder brush that I put at the Covergirl powder in, and I'll just like do that. Yeah, she's like fully awake now, so I'll just skip to the end. That was pretty much it. But my most important step, especially for theme park days, is the Urban Decay All Nighter Spray. You shake it up, you spray it a couple times on your face. And that just keeps everything from coming off as quickly. And then you're done. I'm not doing my hair today because I don't have time and because I washed it a couple days ago, so it's fine. But that is my 5-minute busy mom makeup routine. Make yourself look alive. Go to the theme parks. Yeah, it's very easy, very attainable. Does not take a lot of technical expertise, and you don't have to do it perfect, but if you do it every day, you will improve over time. That's it. So I hope you enjoyed my chatty little get ready with me little makeup, how I do my makeup sort of video. You guys have asked, some of you kind viewers and friends of mine have asked for this video for a long time, and I'm just very not comfortable doing a video like this. So hopefully you got some tips out of this, and yeah, I don't know what to say about that. I've got to stop talking because the baby is gonna wake up and she needs her sleep because like I said, she hasn't gotten a lot of sleep in the past couple days and past week or so. So thanks so much for watching and bearing with me with this. I hope it was helpful to a few of you, and stick around and subscribe. There'll be many more Disney vlogs coming up really soon, and my makeup will look just like this. So stick around and we'll see you next time. Bye.